Hi everyone, and welcome back. Today we are diving into a really exciting little synth, the Donner B1. I've been really impressed by how much character and warmth this synth brings to the table, especially considering its affordability. It is an affordable, fully analog bass synthesizer that delivers a surprisingly rich and convincing sound. While it's designed primarily for bass lines, it has some really interesting quirks that make it a fun and creative tool for ambient music as well. So in this video, I'll walk you through its features, show you what it is capable of, and then we'll push it outside its comfort zone to create some beautiful, evolving ambient textures. The Donner B1 is a monophonic analog synthesizer with a 24 dB ladder filter, which gives it that thick, analog classic tone. It's designed to be simple and intuitive. Here's what you get on the front panel. You can choose between two oscillators, square and triangle waveforms for sound shaping. Great for deep, punchy bass, but also useful for more experimental sounds. VCO pitch knob allows tuning adjustments. Saturation section adds drive and character to the sound. Onboard delay effect with adjustable level, time and feedback to enhance depth and space in the sound. There are no ADSR controls. Instead, there is a simple decay knob for shaping the amplitude envelope. While this might seem limiting, it actually encourages a different approach to sound design. Then there is a filter section with the classic low-pass filter with cutoff and resonance controls, plus a depth knob that controls the depth of the modulation applied to the envelope of the filter's frequency. Actually, there is no dedicated modulation section on the Donner B1, which means you have to get creative with filtering and sequencing to add movement to your sound. In the buttons section, we have a 3-octave selection that allows you a certain amount of flexibility in pitch range. We have an intuitive step sequencer that enables pattern programming with the ability to save patterns and chain them. We also have an arpeggiator, super useful for creating patterns on the fly. We have gate length, slide and accent controls that can be programmed into the sequencer or tweaked live for expressive performance. And we have also a hold note button, very useful in combination with the arpeggiator for hands-free play. In the main section there is a 2-octave keyboard that is quite responsive, even though it's probably not the best for live playing, because the keys are quite hard to press down and a bit clicky. The connectivity options include MIDI in and out, sync in and out, an aux in, a main out and a dedicated headphones out. Overall, the Donner B1 is a synth with a focused feature set. It doesn't try to do everything, but what it does well. Now that we've covered its core features, let's explore a different side of the Donner B1. Even though this is marketed as a bass synth, I want to show you how it can be a powerful tool for ambient music soundscapes. For this, I'm pairing with the Roland S-1, which will provide a drone layer, and adding the Valhalla Supermassive for a lush, expansive reverb. First, I'll start with the triangle waveform. Set the keyboard to the highest octave and turn the decay to the maximum. I'll switch on the saturation and find the sweet spot. As a foundation, I'll play a low drone from the S1. By the way, if you want to get some inspiration about using the S1 for ambient music, check my other videos. Then I'll run everything through the Valhalla Supermassive VST to turn simple notes into massive evolving textures. I'll use some of the presets in the folder Reverb Massive because I want it to sound huge and add a very long tail to the sound. If you turn the reverb to 100% wet, it will also smoothen out the attack of the notes, so you'll get a soft pad out of the Donner B1 even without the attack knob. I'll take advantage of the hold button to let the notes go until they die out without the need to keep the key pressed. This way we can play soft, slow notes in ambient style over our drone. We can also tweak the knobs in real time to add modulation and create some extra movement. You can still hear the analog character of the synth, but with a whole different twist now. Now let's try a different approach. I'll bring back the octave to the middle one, while I'll set the S1 to a higher pitch instead, so they will switch roles. I'll use the square waveform and switch off the saturation to get a round, smooth bass sound. I'll change the supermassive reverb settings to bring back the notes attack. While we still have a drone going from the S1, I'll use the arpeggiator of the B1 to create a bass line that goes well with it. Check it out. So, that's the Donner B1, a surprisingly powerful and inspiring little synth, especially considering its price. It might be marketed as a bass synth, but as you have seen, with a bit of creativity, it can be a fantastic addition to an ambient setup as well. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and let me know in the comments how you'd use the Donner B1 in your setup, whether for bass, ambient textures or something completely different. Huge thanks to Donner for sponsoring this video and for making such an accessible analog synth. See you in the next one and happy music making!